Hello and welcome everyone. Hello, Laura, you're here. Thank goodness. I was just enjoying a bit of Robbie Williams in the background there. He sings about so much like masculine stuff. He's got the masculine persona down pat, and I really enjoy. Now I'm a bit older. I'm enjoying his songs much more than what I did when they were pop songs in my time. So when I was a young man. So how's that for progress?
Amazing. I actually understand that. I was actually listening to the words. I'm like, what an amazing song.
Yeah.
But I was like, could you see me? I was like, hands in the air. No.
Unfortunately, we can't live stream it. That's the problem, because it's that thing, but it does get us all running and gets that, because I've listened to it, because he's got so many masculine songs about men's experiences that captures, the story of manhood and his transition. Like, I mean, he was in Take That, I think, in the boy band, right? So good on you, Robbie. You're well before your time, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Well, Laura, I'm going to jump into my presentation, if you like, and I'm going to call you back on in a minute. I just want to do a quick introduction and cover the logistics side of things, and we'll go from there. See you soon. Okay, everyone, thank you for coming. Here's a little short introduction for our presentation today. I'm going to start off with the why. Fathers, the reason why I created the evolution of fatherhood and connected it to the rise of the AI in fatherhood is that I feel like there's a space for fathers to, where they should support each other, in this transition to AI technology to foster collaborative learning. So I'm here as a beacon, if you like, to create a space, for guys and men and women of all sorts, just fatherhood together, how we transition into this new AI era, right? We want to share knowledge. We've got the Facebook page, we've got the Instagram accounts, and we're running our retreat in September, which is amazing. And the great, amazing, I keep saying amazing, Laura La Rocca will be at that event as well. So we're really stoked about that. So here we are creating a collaborative space for our fatherhood and AI. Last week, we went through the importance of being early adapters to AI. I've got this AI, page up. This has been from my experience, being a drone operator for 6 or 7 years now. I was developing 3D videos back in 2014, 15, when I helped Freedom 360 develop a 3D printed rig that held 6 GoPros in it, and the AI software that stitched all that video together to make it one spheric video, which was pretty cool. It was being developed at the time. We were just like using the products and giving them telemetry back, giving them feedback on how to use the products. And I talked about how we had a robot at our events, where we would have this double robotic video conferencing robot coming around inside our events, where he would run up and down the aisles and he would talk to people, and we would operate him from the back of the room or from the stage. And he just had an iPad for a head and wheels, and he used to just go and find his way around the event, which was hilarious in itself. But it was loads of fun. We used to do all this crazy stuff at the events. We even used to fly drones around inside the big conference halls. We fly drones around, and sheets of paper would fly everywhere from the downdraft from the drones. But that was what we did when we did the early adapters. So that was the opportunity to really get in at the grassroots level of AI and see it before it all gets like, kind of compartmentalized, where it's you can't do this, you can't do that, rules and legislation, all that stuff came in after that. So we were lucky enough to get through some amazing things and testing before it all became legislative, and we're still here to prove it, right? We're still alive. And the 3D printing, the leap motion, and the brain controlled helicopter that we used to develop, that we developed as well. So there you go. That gives me a permission to talk to you about AI today, right? Now, about parenthood, this gives me permission to talk about parenthood. This is the thing. I've got 3 sons. One is turning 30 in October. And I'm telling you now, that's an achievement in itself. And we're all really close. My son's my oldest son's 30, my middle one's 28, and my young son Elkie that's here with me today. He's 11. So it's kind of like I've got, having these runs on the boards gives you permission to talk about parenthood as well, right? So I feel like, I'm still really good friends with both the mums and spouses. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey. All right, now we've got our major special guest coming on, the amazing, the incredible Miss Laura La Rocca. Hello.
Wow, the incredible, the one and only. How are you? Shane?
I'm fantastic. I'm actually really stoked. Like I every time you come, even in my vicinity, I get like a doubling of my energy for some reason. It must be you've got this energy that just boosts people. I think you just radiate that star quality that brings me the beauty out in the beautiful energies out in people. So thank you for that.
You're a beautiful energy. It takes one to know one. That's what I say. People like you, free energy. So anyway, let's get into it.
Well, I just thought there's a little graphic that I wanted to show you first, because I know you're here to talk about what women want, but it's what AI wants. Yes. It's also the same thing.
What AI wants. No, really, I'm so intrigued, and I'm so excited to learn more about the whole AI thing. I mean, I'm not scared of it. I'm not, I suppose I don't know what I don't know. And I'm sure if you were to ask me, I would probably go, no, I don't use any AI. No, I don't. But I'm sure you can, you'll say the opposite, right?
Yeah, exactly right. I think that the whole point is that we already are using AI in many different ways. It's just that it's not being it's not a prerequisite to know that you're using AI before you use it. So it's like, there's a fear. It's the fear of the unknown. That's part of the collaborative that we're trying to establish here. We're going to teach you how, the basics of what AI is and to embrace it as much as you can, because being an early adapter, when's the best time to plant a tree? 30 years ago and today. So let's plant a tree that may grow into a big oak with AI.
Adapt or become extinct. Is that right? Something like that.
That's almost like the AI robots are going to kill us, but yes, I agree.
Anyway, so you're here because you want me to tell you what women want, right?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that I had a sex change. So when I was a man, now as a woman, I think I can sort of, but I remember as a man, all I wanted was respect. No, I'm joking. All women, I believe, and I mean, I'm no expert, and I'm, clearly not, but I think, when it comes down to, we all want, yes, I think women just want love, and men want to be respected. I mean, don't get me wrong, as a woman, of course, I want to feel respect. I want to feel respected, of course, who doesn't? And of course, as a man, you want to feel love. But I think it's how, I think it all depends on where you are also in your life. Or, I know after my divorce, I was like, I don't want love. I just want respect. Give me some respect. I don't want to stay away love. It depends on how, I suppose, healed your heart is. But, ultimately, I think us women, we just want to feel love. And when we feel love, from our man, we respect him. And when he feels respected, he loves us more. I know it sounds really simple, but and there's, of course, there's so many layers. I'm sure I'm going to have people going, oh my God, who is this woman? Look, I love women, I love men. You know what I mean? I'm no feminist. I'm just a very loving human being. So I know everyone's going to have their own opinion, but I truly believe it's that sort of simple. When he feels respected, you know, I mean, when she feels loved, you know, she respects him, because it's just like, you know, and then it's just this like a circle. And I think where it sort of stops, you know, and gets like clinched is where there's, you know, us women can be, I mean, at times a bit criticizing and a bit sort of naggy, you know. It's only because we know better. Yeah. But the man doesn't hear it like that. The man hears it like, you know, that it's you're being disrespected, you know, because I mean, it's, you know, and sort of, but anyway, more about more, yeah. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know that
I agree.
You do? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, but I coming from a context of that, I believe that understanding it in this way helps us create a business work-life balance, right? It's kind of like, if we can understand what the other part of us wants, then it becomes easier for us to you know, to manage that situation and have the tools that we need to you know, create the, you know, the harmony that we want, right? So I've got some other things coming on too, that they have the most amazing relationships in it, and they put it down to this balance that you're talking about. When I heard you say it the first time, I thought, yes, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to talk about.
Yes, please. I want you to, you know, yeah, I respect you enough to want to learn from you more about AI without feeling like I'm a numbnut that doesn't understand or doesn't know.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I know for a fact that you're no numbnut, and I know that you're like a blazing talented person that sometimes does have a way of, you know, downgrading, but that you know, your amazing importance into this. And I've just seen you in motion so many times that I just go, and I get the benefits of it a lot as well, where I just get this boost of energy when I'm around you. But I guess if that's a normal occurrence that happens for you, then it becomes like commonplace, and you don't really see it like that. You just say, well, I just do this. That's what I do, right? It's not it's not something that I do. So yeah, just you know, when, and maybe, you know, in our future self, when we're looking back on this recording and going, you know, what we wanted to talk about during this session today, you know, we would get a little bit of an insight into how, you know, where we were at the time when we started to delve into this, you know, world of how we can enhance our lives with AI, and how finding this balance, you know, the you know, the foundations of the relationship with a balance, and how that's always got to start. It doesn't matter how much you know about AI and how the software will help us enhance us. But if we don't have the foundation in place, like the understanding, like you just explained, then we're in trouble. Then you're built on sand, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, am I asking the questions, or are you asking the questions?
I don't know. We can just go with it. What do you want to do? I can ask you a series of questions if you want, but I mean, I want you to just tell me about your experience about this situation, and maybe you could share a little bit about what you're afraid of with AI, and if that's, if anything of that, you know, personalized experience that might get lost in the AI experience with having, you know, relationship tool. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know.
I wouldn't exactly say I'm scared. I mean, you know, like I said, I don't know what I don't know. So sometimes, yeah, that can come across as, and I think, I don't know whether it's just me, or, you know, there's probably other people. If I don't get something from the start, like when it sort of first comes out and I actually grow with it, and I feel like I've already missed the boat, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just get the essentials, or I'll understand just enough that I need to know that, you know, but yeah, it's not a fear. It's almost like I don't really know where to begin. You know, I don't know really what to, yeah.
Okay.
To sort of, I mean, like, I'm sure, like you said, I'm using AI all the time, you know. Scotty, can you beam me up? Oh, sorry, no, I'm joking. I'm sure, you know, I'm using, but I don't know, I'm sure I could be doing more. I'm sure I could be using more.
Yeah.
And probably the reason why I don't use more, maybe it's out of I don't know, what's the word? I wouldn't say lazy, because I'm not lazy. I do need a new phone, as you know. No, I don't know. Yeah, but you're gonna tell me what apps I need, please. You have to get sorted.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking that we could probably start right now. Like, you know how you're on Zoom right this moment, right? And sometimes inside Zoom preferences, when I know you don't need it very much, but for me, the little tool that goes in your Zoom that cleans up your appearance, it says, make you look better.
Really? You mean to say I could be looking much better than this? You tell me now.
Well, I said you don't need it, right? But there is inside Zoom, there's built-in AI that's technology, right? So there's in the preferences, you can go into preferences, and then you can go to touch up my appearance, and you slide. It's a little slide bar. You can turn it right off, or you can slide it back up. But I look like,
Are you touched up at the moment?
I'm touched up at the moment, Laura, and I'll admit it. I'm about halfway. I mean, I don't have to go all the way, but I'm about halfway on my touch up.
So I have seen what you're talking about, but I'm going to do it anyway. So backgrounds and effects, is that the one?
Yeah, but it's different on an iPad, because I know you're not using your phone. You're using your iPad, right? So the settings are a little bit different on PC or computer, right? So but that's just one little example, right? But I'll go through some examples, if you don't mind, about how we can do that, right? So I'll jump back into this presentation.
Okay.
And
it. Oh.
Yeah.
No, awesome.
Did you find it? Did you find your touch-up tool?
No, I didn't find it. I can't.
Okay.
I just
I'm going to keep watching you. Okay. So Laura, the software that I want to point out today is like a these are apps that have been developed with AI in mind to enhance your experience as a couple. Okay. Paired is a great little app, and it's like when you're in a relationship, it prompts you to have daily conversations with your partner. So it gives you puzzles and quizzes to do together. So you're sort of constantly reminded that you need to be working on this, collective together, so that you're always pairing up to do stuff, right? So it's a great concept, and it's becoming really, really popular. And I saw the Google App Store. It was like, it had like 4 stars. It was like, it's cruising along with its notoriety at the moment. So it's really, really good. For me, this is another one, like Good Budget. This is a great tool if you want to have a joint bank account, joint expenses, right? So you go through, it's a simple tracking of finance app. So you add in all your finances, but the beauty of it is that you can sync it across multiple apps. So you can have it with your partner, and you can see your financials together in real time, and then go through, because I mean, I don't know about you, but finance has been, can be, a make or break, because I think that, we all want security, right? And we all have different, opinions about getting there. And when a relationship breaks down, it's because they, sometimes they have a different opinion of how to get that financial security, right? So very important app. Lasting is a marriage counseling app that's in your pocket. So it provides, an accessible way to strengthen your relationship. But because I mean, if anybody, and that's another thing, if you've ever been to couples counseling, it costs a mint. And especially like, if you're in like one of the Western countries, like, if you're in Bali, like we are, we would probably go to a Balinese healer, or somebody that would have like some sort of healing and work on your person stuff. There's not a lot of, collective working on the relationship. It's more like if the Balinese culture itself is around, singularity, not being single, working on the individual rather than working on the collective of the family itself. There is parts of it, but it's, the marriage counseling here is more about, working on the individual, which is true enough too, right? But it's expensive, right? If you're in Australia or anywhere, the couples counseling can be really expensive as well. And, and both people have got to want to do it. So if you've got an app that can do that, and you can sort of test the water and, see if it's going to work as another tool to see if it, something that can work together. And the one that I really love at the end, and because we talked about this the other week, is about this nudge, which is it's the love languages book, but it's turned into an app. So you can sort of like do the test on the app, and then you get a work out what is your love language. And what is your love language, Laura? Would you
Yeah, my number one is what do you call it? Quality time.
Quality time, yeah.
And then physical touch.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at that one. I don't know if that's just the example. Mine's basically the opposite of that. The other way around is flipped over. Yeah, my last is gifts. Gifts are really,
yes,
no,
yes.
not
That's not my readout. That's just like an image that's supplied from. Right? Yeah, that's not me on there. No. Mine's like a little bit private because I like to keep these things a little bit private. But there you go. But that's it, right? Imagine having like even with your children, or balancing relationships, knowing what their love language is, right? Because I know millions and millions of people around the world know that they've read the love language book. But not everyone would know that it's an app that you can use to calculate your score, so you can actually see your percentages, but you can also use to see theirs, and then you can sort of overlay it together and see where I can really be connected to this person with knowing what their love language is. And I don't know, many people don't know this little secret about you and me as well, Laura, is that we're actually born on the same day, the same everything. Right, so we're always looking for similarities, like we're twins. Well, twins from different parents, but same birthday, same day, same hour, same everything, right? From incredible. Anyway, so that makes our relationship even more.
That's a bit different.
I was just listening to your love language was quality time and touch one too, right? That's exactly what mine is. Mine's exactly quality time and touch as well. Yeah, incredible, right? So there you go. All right, so these are some of the utilizing it AI benefits, right? So relationship assessment, AI algorithms that have been developed online for many years, decades now, and the data has been processed into having a real life understanding of relationship assessments. The trigger points through your relationship that can early stages of your relationship, and you're in the love phase, or like the whatever phase that first bit's called, and you want some information, like the relationship assessment tool, it helps you to develop those understanding of what are the red flags, what are the things that we need to be concerned about with our particular relationship mix, right? Because it's what we are together that's the most important thing, rather than who we are as separate people, right? When it comes to the relationship. Communication enhancement, chat bots and visual assistants, meaningful conversation to help improve, between you and your spouse. That's an important part, right? Like, so you can send like voice messages, right? You can record your voice on WhatsApp, send it to your partner and say a question, like, so you can continually be connected during the day, but you're also, still being productive, doing other things as well. Relationship coaching. So, I don't know, for me as a man, what happens is that Laura, I tend to, like, if I'm in trouble, like I'm having to question something, I kind of isolate a little bit to understand myself. I go into myself to try and work out what it is that's going on for me. So with relationship coaching, it's kind of like you got an answer in your pocket. Because when you search for Google, it gives you a whole stack of stuff you've got to filter through all that stuff, right? But if it's with relationship coaching, the AI is actually opposed to what you're actually going through, right? It's like it's more specific to you. So it's like a better understanding of yourself. You get a better answers for yourself, right? So shared experiences, AI can help curate and recommend activities for your partner. So if you've got somebody, it's like you've got a counselor, a relationship coach in the background saying, you guys should be camping this weekend, or you should be, doing this, you need to spend more time together, or whatever it is. I mean, some people might find that a little bit intrusive, but I find that, what I'm thinking is that if you've got a tool that reminds you, at least you're a little bit conscious of it. It's not like you're going to get a year down the track and go, oh my God, we didn't spend enough time together and now the relationship's over, right? You've got something there that will remind you of what because you put the preferences in as well. You teach the AI what you want, and then it just replays to you at certain times to remind you to do things. Emotional support, yes, again, when my being myself and isolating myself sometimes, and that's if you've got an emotional AI powered chatbot that you say to what's the best way to if I've got reflux or something like a thing, but it's caused by stress, and they address the stress as well as the symptom of the reflux, right? So it's kind of, you can ask a multi-layered question, whereas when you go on to Google, it's difficult to in its translation. It doesn't pick up the difference between the two, right? It doesn't get the multi-layers in it. So you can ask the AI that as well. But like a chatbot in Chat GTP, you can do that. GTP. Okay, so Laura, this one is for you. I put this one specifically for you. It's a tip of the week. It's like this is the layman's terms of what is happening in AI. So you're understanding what exactly AI is doing. So, and this might prompt you to use it a little bit more, because I know that your iPhone 4 or whatever it is that you have, it has like a it does have Siri on there. So I think I'm pretty sure you'll be able to use it still. I don't know what brand your phone is, but I always have a dig at you because I know you're upgrading your phone now, so it's all good. So the gloves are off with the AI part, with the new devices coming. So back to the tip of the week. It's basically a voice assistant, right? So think I'm explaining the voice assistant to you as it's not just a voice from God. Okay, it's not connected to the internet trying to change your mind about anything. So the voice assistant, just think of the analogy, think of a voice assistant as a virtual personal assistant, like having your own digital secretary, right? And then with a real life example, just like you can ask a real assistant to set reminders, you can ask yourself a question or play your favorite song or request an assistant or a voice assistant to use AI to understand your voice commands, right? So with Google Home and, they listen to your voice, not just what you're saying, but the tone of your voice as well. So you're teaching the AI how to listen to you, right? So the more you teach it to listen to you, the more it understands. It goes for security as well. So if somebody's into your home and they say, what's a combination of the safe or whatever, they're not, the AI is not going to let, the AI is not going to hear their voice. They're going to say, no, that's not Laura's voice, right? So it's sort of, you're teaching it to understand you in a personalized sort of way. It doesn't take somebody else's voice and say, that's your voice, right? So that's like a common thing. That's what the voice prompt video of voice assistants are that uses AI. Does that make any sense to you, Laura? Or yeah, it's quite simple, right?
Yeah.
Do you use voice prompting?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So if there was a homework for next week, or homework that you can send me some feedback on.
It's not for any reason. It's just find it easier just to
type it out.
I mean, I remember when it all first came out, and it's an iPhone 3. Thank you very much. No, I remember when it all first came out. Yeah, for fun, and it was a bit of novelty. And I mean, like I said, I've grown up with a father that has like 15 years ago had a 3D printer, constantly got computers all over the place opened up, and he's just, out of just curiosity opening a computer up. I've been brought up in that sort of curiosity house, but I just, I don't know. All right, but so what's my homework anyway? What do I have to do?
Oh, well, no, just start using your voice prompt. Use Siri. Just like instead of searching on Google, just say, okay, Siri, can you find me, an AI tool that can help me, plan my day, or, like what I do is like, okay.
I couldn't say. So she can't say if I need her or not. So anyway, okay. Hang on.
Oh, yes. There's a fun to ask you to
Are you
dad joke.
feeling love from me? I don't have an answer for that. We'll see. No, I don't know why I can't hear her. It's just giving it to me in text. Or maybe you can, anyway.
Yeah, there's Siri and there's voice prompting, right? So the voice capturing, so you can say things and it translates it to chat as well.
Oh, okay.
So wipe up from the anyway. Yeah, so yeah, for homework, let's I can go through it with you a little bit as well. Like I just feel that ease with it, because it's like it's fun. Like I use it a lot with my son. I'll say, like, okay, Google, in 10 years time today, give me a message to say how awesome I am, or something like that. And then it goes, okay, it's set for now, right? So then in 10 years, yeah, you can use it to do, like, you got to change the way you're thinking about it, because you're planning. It can help you plan so far ahead, or so it can plan in detail what you've got to do for each day, which is pretty cool too.
Just this time you're doing something that you maybe shouldn't be doing, and then all of a sudden, like, your message comes up, and no, you don't.
Well, if you've got the bells and whistles all that muted, it'll just come up as a notification on your phone to say,
okay.
Yeah,
I'm just
this is your 10-year reminder to say, you're awesome, right? So that's how we use it, right? We got to think. It changes our thinking a little bit. Instead of saying, "How can you help me, Siri?" It's like saying, Siri, I have a specific question, and this is, can you give me your best answer? And it'll give you a specific best answer question, right? Or it might prompt you in the direction that it feels like, where other people may have asked that question as well, or that database of people as well. So I hope that worked a little bit for you, Laura, because I know there's a little bit, so we got to take baby steps. Let's just take. It's not like it's something that we're going to. I mean, if you were to start AI today, you would still be classed as an early adapter, right? If you were starting today to learn to teach yourself about AI, and that's what I think about the collective with the evolution of fatherhood, is that if we started today, we would still be classed as early adapters, right? So in the stage of early adaptation, we can actually play with things, because some things are going to be just set in stone. What we know in the future is that in the future, the things that we're developing now will just become commonplace, right? We just know, that everyone needs a fridge and a washing machine and all that sort of stuff, because but back 20, 30 years ago, that wasn't the case, so technology and the way we live as humans all is developing at the speed of, an exponential rate. So this is still classed as early adapting. Okay, so get in now while you can, because it's so cool that you're just wanting to get your toe wet in the water, right? Because it's actually really, really fun.
I'm in. I want a robot that does everything for me.
Yeah, well, that's not far off, actually. So, I think within the next 5 years we'll have home body robots, and maybe it'll redefine the whole relationship thing all over again as well.
What would you say to your partner? I'm sorry, no, I'm not having an affair. I'm just having an affair with my robot. I mean, that's really, how are you going to do that? Yeah. Anyway, it's been a pleasure. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I think that if it's there as a counselor, or how we use it, I think that's where we draw the line, right? Where is the line? Where do you want to, and humanity as society will draw that line, right? There's been many things in the history of humans that we would look back on and just cringe at what we think was normal, right? But what we think now, like maybe in 10 years or 20 or 30 or 50 years, things like that might be more accepting. That may be the evolution of humanity. I don't know. Which is like, coming from this space and this understanding, this consciousness, yes, it's a bit of a, it's like, we'd be losing so much if that happened, right? We'd be losing so much about connections and love and feelings and emotions and, all the messy stuff that comes with it that makes it all awesome, right? Which is what we want to protect. That's why we're adapting early, so that we can still keep those beautiful, random, painful, whatever it is.
Human.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. I wanted to talk to you. You know, we've got this amazing event coming up in September. It's one of these events that you know, we don't run very often, and it's basically a father-son retreat. But it's, Laura, it's not about just being a father. It's about being a figure, a guardian or an uncle or whatever, anything that constitutes as a male, right? And the reason that we do that, because we believe that there's like a real clear path for young ladies, and they can in the transitioning, women do it very well. I think that, you know, they're always working on, you know, how to better it. I think they have like period parties and all that sort of stuff now with kids, and I think that's amazing, right? But there's not a lot in to do with boys and their, you know, path to manhood. And I know some ancient cultures do have that. And you know, Bali's one of those places that has a real subtle manly, you know, their volcanoes are man, you know, they have like, you know, it's a very male dominated kind of society with, you know, the way that the structure of it. But I want to bring people to come and learn about, you know, how, you know, what we do here in Bali and the energy of Bali, and how, you know, that it's a safe place for men to come and work on themselves and work with their kids to get a real understanding. Like one of the things we do is we do a future vision together, and have, I don't know how many fathers that I know have, you know, will give do a future vision with their son, you know, like sit down and have like, you know, this is my future vision, and the son writes his future vision and goes, this is my best future vision that I can do at this point, right? So there's all these workshopy things that we can do. We'll do that for the first couple of days, and then we'll go to, you know, then we'll go into like an epic climb. So we're going to go into a Mount Rinjani trek. Now this is open, you know, to everyone. I mean, it's just basically we're going to climb. We're going to fly to Lombok and do a, you know, a little get together and put some intentions together. Then we're going to fly. Then we're going to climb in the morning, sign the register to climb the mountain. We'll go up to base camp. That's the target. The base camp is the target, right? So I can show you what the base camp looks like, because I've got it here on my.
That would be.
Beg your pardon?
What a journey!
Incredible. I know, right? But that's not. We've got so many things. We've got like where am I? I'm looking for my Word doc here, which is there it is.
Hang on. Okay. Hey, so, Mike, could you please help show? Oh, sorry.
So this is the proposal that I've got together. This is the whole retreat booked out. Like, you know, this is where we start. We start in Bali. We do the 2 days, and then we go through the itinerary of the, you know, arrival in Bali, welcome dinner at Sudamala and Sanur, and then we do 2 days of workshops. Then on the third day, we'll do a morning on the beach. Then we'll come back. We'll check out. We'll go to Lombok. We will go to the domestic airport. We'll fly over to Lombok. We'll check into our property in Sengegi. And then they will pick us up, then we'll sleep the night there, then they'll pick us up in the morning, take us to base camp where we sign into the document, we sign into the trek, so it's an official trek. So we'll climb to the base camp. This is what base camp looks like. We're just above the clouds, we're just like in a rows of tents across the ridge. And we're all going to be like, you're going to sit there and we're going to just celebrate our achievements. Now that will be, you know, late afternoon on our first day, on day 5. And what we will do is that night when we all sleep in our tents, because they, you know, we have Sherpas and everyone that's going to carry our tents and cook our foods and carry our drones and all that sort of stuff. So we have Sherpas that come with us as well. So we're just carrying our back and what we need to carry for each day. The Sherpas carry the rest. And so what that night on the 5th, when we're all sleeping, some people might elect to go to the summit, which is like an extra 700 meters, almost a kilometer to the top, which is the major pinnacle, right? But we're not all going to go up there, because some kids are only 12, and even though when I was up there, when I climbed it myself personally, the kids were there was a 7 and a 10-year-old that came us to the base camp to stay with us. They didn't go to summit, but they stayed with us at the base camp, and they were the Sherpa's sons. The Sherpa's sons were there, and they were there to sing and make us happy, because in trekking, it's all about being happy and having a happy trek. So it's kind of like that. So, I mean, it's open for everyone to come. I mean, we just want, the trek to be like, part of the father-son thing, because we know that we can put a great intention on, the summit, get to the base camp, and then we can just, we can debrief then. Once that next morning when we wake up, we'll crawl, we will walk down into the crater. And this is what the crater looks like. It's inside, it's a big lake inside it, which makes it a female crater as well. So you go into the lake, you go into the crater, and they catch fish directly from the lake, and you eat fresh. You feel like you're on an Indonesian's holiday. An Indonesian family's holiday. That's what it feels like. It's so awesome. But then you can sort of like start to read your intentions and go, wow, am I getting, is this what it's all about, right? So we camp inside the crater again. Then the next day we walk out of the crater. They pick us up, and then they take us over to Gili. We go to the Gillies and finish off with the Gili Islands. And whoever not been to the Gillies, I mean, there's not even any cars on the Gili Islands. It's just horse and carriage or bicycles, right? So we finish off in Gili Trawangan, and that's where we debrief our trip, and then we go back to Bali. Laura, how was that? How awesome is it, right?
I'm coming.
That's awesome. I'm glad you are, because we'd love you to be there. It's a big trek though. You got to start practicing and doing 10-kilometer walks, and just getting prepared. And
my name's it's all right. I'm so proud of you, and what an amazing gift for a father to give to his son, and vice versa. That's just wow. That's a memory that I know a child will remember forever. I remember things from when I was 12, 13. I actually remember my period party. I remember my auntie, my grandmother, they all came, they're all there within half an hour, and there was flowers, and I've still got the little ring, and it was like dancing, and I'm sitting there crying, and it was, not because I was happy, crying because I'm thinking, I'll never go to the beach ever again. But you know what? Those memories that I've had, and that's what this thing will be for the children. Absolutely. Wow. Proud of you, Shane. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, it takes a certain type of person to step into this place, right? Like I just feel privileged that I'm in Bali. I know Bali culture, and I know how it would receive this, right? Like I know that, and you're saying it, you think it's a great idea because women have it, but I know the Bali culture as well. They look for things that are meaningful, something that's substance. And this is kind of that, right? Where somebody would say, I got a calling, I can't not do this. It's part of my being, right? It's that's what I'm here for. So I'm going for it with these, because I know I've already climbed Rinjani. I've sat on the top. I've cried my eyes out. I've put intentions on it. I know it because I've done it. And I know that, my sons will benefit from that as well, whether they climb with me or the group or not. It doesn't, it's not, it's up to them. But it's more that I just wanted to make sure that that people understand that it's for them. We're not trying to take over the experience for them. You get what you want out of it. So you set the intentions, and you create the amazing. And then let us start you, right? Because I mean, I partnered with the Trip Crafter to do it. So Trip Crafter is the tourist agency that's giving me the permission to give me the ability to book all these things in and do it all legally in Bali. So which is really, really cool, right? So so Laura, thank you so much. Next week, I've got an amazing guest called Jolty Nagy. He's one of my dear friends from a long time, over I think 20 years now, and he's going to be flying somewhere over. Australia. He's heading to Sydney to do, to work on his business and stuff there. So he's flying from Slovakia to Sydney, and he's going in first class. So he's actually got internet, and he said, I'll do a Zoom call with you live from the plane. And I went, are you serious?
Cool.
So yeah, so it's coming in live from the plane. So don't miss out on that, Laura. You have to come in and watch that, because that's like another, technical feat inside itself, right? How do we, 3,000 feet up? How are we, how are we able to, how are we able to have a Zoom call at that site, at that height, right?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So be look out for that one. Mr. Jolty, he's going to be on the 20th. And you'll need to register to get into to watch that one as well. I want to thank you, Laura. You always give me so much energy. I think I'm just monotone if I don't have somebody like you just to bounce off and bring my juices flowing. So I'm just so appreciative of you and your, I know that you've got like a bit of a headache today, and it's like, stepping out into this space with me is just, it just shows your character, you're willing to help even beyond, yourself at sometimes, you're such a selfless giver. So thank you so much.
And I had a lot of fun, and I'm very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And I'm looking.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop sharing screen so I can see you better. I can only see you a little bit. Okay. All right. We've gone a little bit over time, but that's okay, because I want to make sure that, you get the best value out of this call. So, Laura, I love you. Like, I love you. My birthday buddy. And we will catch up again soon. I hope. Okay. All right. Bye.